The Dismas, who we briefly met earlier in this story, proceeds to inform you that this could all have been avoided if only you gave high fives responsibly. You discern this notion as an absolute crock of shit because you've known him for many long-suffering sweeps, to which he immediately agrees. He then starts recording the action that's about to take place. You're going to be busy for a while. This works just fine for us, as it's time for a new introduction. Let's take a closer look at this antagonistic young man. Enter name.
Before we get started,
Guess who's coming? Guess who's coming?
it's me all along.
Who the hell are you?
Your name is Murrit Turkin, and really, that's all most people need to know about you. So far, you've only had 2 iterations of yourself. That will soon change, although you don't realize it yet. In the far past, you used to be a salesman of dubious credibility. After your dream self was awoken on the moon of Durst by making a deal with a stranger, a small group of cheats known as the Dead Shufflers took you in as a hostage to the Black Queen. In a somewhat shocking turn of events, it just so happened that their leader, the Scathing Sharper, ended up taking a shine to you. Finding a new home among these strange, exoskeleton-sporting crooks, you were soon turned into a feared personality among the last remaining members of the Sea Troll hierarchy. As a ruthless swindler and card shark in the world of various gambling sports, you acquired a fine taste for taking what you want with absolutely no regard for others, and also murdering any poor sucker who didn't manage to pony up the goods. You actually met your partner Dismas through these shady means. You have been the proud owner of his soul, now in more ways than one, since that fateful poker game about 2 sweeps back or so. And that encounter eventually led you to realize that that wasn't the life you wanted to lead, so you gave it all up. Relinquishing your underground reign and betraying the family you once had, you sentenced the man that took you into a life of community service and sent the other 3 into hiding. Since then, you've settled in as this new Murrit. This new Murrit is the Murrit you're set on keeping, and as with any proper personality, he also has a number of interests. A lot of your time has gone into fulfilling your end of the bargain with the aforementioned stranger that woke your dream self, with a subsection of it being devoted to trying to give him the slip. These attempts have all failed spectacularly, although they were quite entertaining to watch at times. Since then, you've resigned yourself to personally decoding the hieroglyphs found inside an ancient and ruined temple, which sported the visage of a curious amphibious creature you're pretty sure doesn't actually exist. And you finally completed your work on that front tonight. Other than that, you are very prone to boredom on your tropical island in the middle of nowhere. You know, the kind with coconuts and shit? They sadly don't make for entertaining company, so you've taken matters into your own hands and rigged your hive with an insurmountable number of booby traps that could kill you at any second, just for the sheer thrill of it. Dangerous fun has always been better than no fun at all in your book. You also like to collect a number of ancient cultural artifacts, most of them coming from the Renaissance. You're particularly invested in old media systems and esoteric entertainment from the time period. This collection is proudly displayed on your, also lovingly procured, set of televisions and videotapes, the entirety of which you leave running on something at all times, all at once. As a bit of a side hustle, you've also managed to modify the technology you uncover rather well. Many of these objects have been turned into monitors and drones that you use to keep tabs on your friends. You enjoy waiting for them to fuck up spectacularly, and then record these moments so that you can make surreal comedy mashups of their misfortunes. And despite the fact that you post these everywhere, you ensure they are accessible to you alone. Anyone who clicks on your video links is subjected to a heartload of obtrusive redirections and nasty viruses. Really, you like to think that your best attributes are the dedication you bring to all of these hobbies. None of it comes even close, however, to the sheer magnitude of effort you put into showing your affiliation with erotic countercultural art pieces. The hentai art movement in particular made a lot of waves during its prime. Truth be told, this didn't start as a genuine personal interest. Rather, it was a response to another's interests, a countermeasure to show him how utterly shitty his beliefs are, and sometimes, in order to really prove a point, you need to take that extra step. Countless hours of research, reading, watching, and going as far as making a dungeon of solitude in relation to it, all to make the guys that much more believable. It's gotten so bad that you're not even sure if you're still doing this facetiously or not. But other people don't need to know if you're being honest, and neither do you. It's all part of the show. Your troll tag is unclassed kahuna, and you speak in a staticky manner that no one even gets. What will you do? Murrit, fondly regard past Murrit. What is there to fondly regard? Murrit, examine copious amount of shades. This is your shutter shade collection. You have 52 pairs in total, and you like to switch them once each twice per half-sweep cycle. They're a staple of your wardrobe that subtly hints at the hidden depths of your personality, keeping your eyes open yet concealed from onlookers at all times. Nah, as if you just enjoy the simple pleasures of being kinda weird, your idiosyncrasies carefully cultivated for maximum aggravated potential. Your friends love it. Murrit, examine Launchpad. You frequently use this thing when you're working on your video mashup collections. Really brings it all together. That's the power of wacky effects and deep frying. Each button has a specific function attached to it that messes the video up something fierce, although some fall more on the useless side of things. This one, for example, is just a long clip of someone screaming. You proceed to press the button and listen to the anguished wail for many minutes. Murrit, examine mysterious ancient entertainment hubs. They're not really that mysterious, just really old and outdated televisions. You cherish them regardless, as per your previously stated esoteric and eclectic taste. These films and shows are all hundreds, if not thousands of sweeps old. You're only able to watch them due to the stray wreckage you gather and repurpose to this end. Well, that and these tapes are supposed to be virtually indestructible. And you guess you could watch the one show that's still airing on modern-era television, but the drastic decline in quality gives you a bit of pause. On the other hand, you like to leave the good shows playing on repeat, the ones that make you contemplate your own existence as much as you contemplate the workings of the media itself. Murrit, examine Dismas Body Pillow, the absolute pride of your entire collection. You made it yourself. Ordinarily, this sort of thing would be used as part of an imaginary physical courtship ceremony, but you and he have long since crossed that particular bridge. You just like having him around whenever you want him. Oh yes, I suppose I should explain what that means. I've brought up quite a few terms that have been left unexplained thus far. Let's get that out of the way now, shall we? Explain species mating procedures. I will keep the social aspect of this relatively brief, as we are meant to return to it at a later time. For now, all you need to know is that this species' traditional relationship conventions fall into 4 distinct categories, or quadrants, of similar yet varying romantic notions. They are represented by easily recognizable and color-coded symbols. These so-called quadrants are matespridships, moirallegiances, auspisticisms, and kismicissitudes. The flushed and pitch quadrants are the ones currently relevant to our discussion, the former being characterized by a tender, more compassionate form of love, and the latter being much more tumultuous and contentious, but both nonetheless equally as affectionate and important to these trolls. And what a remarkably sentimental band of creatures they are. Yes, trolls take their courtships rather seriously, almost to the point of being territorial on the issue. Finding a mate is the farthest thing from fun and games for these starry-eyed souls. Even the initial choice of who to romantically pursue is taken with great ponderance by most, and it is hardly, if ever, made on a whim and without due consideration. Sexual intimacy of any kind comes much, much later in the process, long after this special someone has been duly chosen. The stakes here are unusually high for what you would ordinarily expect from physical coupling, as this experience is rather life-altering, not by the nature of the act, but by the fact that doing so completely closes a troll off from ever bonding in such a manner with another. Each person only ever gets 2 shots at making this decision, one for either sexually intimate quadrant. Any further details on this front, however, are not important to us at present. You see, reproduction on this planet is not dependent on intercourse. Rather, it is actualized by artificial cloning. In a few select moments over the course of a troll's lifespan, they will be asked to go to their most conveniently located reproduction stable in order to leave behind some form of genetic material. These samples are to be handed off to the helpful and friendly service droids, robotic assistants charged with ensuring your personal stable is as comfortable as possible as you give back to society in the most literal sense there is. These offerings can be as straightforward as a strand of hair, or if one is more traditionally inclined, a sample of either blood or seed. After receiving the genetic material of choice, the droid then transfers it to a classified facility where it will be stored until it is time to mechanically pupate new younglings, grubs as they call them. These grubs are crafted to be similar yet different from their precursors, carrying their lineages and symbols back into the outside world once they mature. The precursors in question will then be known as the newer generation's ancestors, and it is customary for them to be long dead by the time their descendants have hatched. Every single troll, whether they know it or not, has an ancestor of shed blood and sigil. Lineage records used to be kept quite laboriously throughout this planet's history, though most of them have been lost to the sands of time by now, due to the general structural decline this society experienced in its waning sweeps. It used to be so easy to know where you came from. Any troll who wished to find out about their ancestry could do so without much effort. Now, knowledge on the subject is scarce at best. Morsels of information pieced together through cross-analysis between fictionalized historical art pieces and word of mouth. In the past, there was a commonly held belief that a descendant was fated to either follow in their ancestors' footsteps or subvert their legacies entirely. Some of these figures were heralded as champions of virtue or condemned as ruthless villains, and as such many fables have since been crafted regarding the nature of particularly remarkable lives, figures that broke the mold of importance in one way or another, their actions crystallizing into fantastical epics and permanently etched into the cultural consciousness. But no good story ever comes from a place of complete fiction. Our 12 main actors' progenitors stand as special cases in history, as their descendants will also be, provided everything goes according to plan. These ancestors all had a significant hand in crafting the new era their world was ushered into after their passing, as much as they had a hand in destroying it. Key pieces set to push certain events into motion, as tragic as they were regretfully necessary. Their tale is one that is commonly referenced, but never truly grasped in its entirety. An unfortunate consequence of technical inaccuracies tinged by personal bias and the loss of reliable information on the subject. Do not worry, this story will also be pieced together as we go along. It does feel as if I'm forcing too much information on you right from the start, doesn't it? I apologize. A measure of exposition is quite necessary here, however. There are a number of things that would not make much sense had you not been given the courtesy of a slight pre-briefing, even if some of the broached topics feel all too familiar. Oh? I can tell you're curious. Allow me to give you a small hint, then. You might remember these words from earlier. Take them as a sign of things to come and a nod at what has already been. It all has something to do with a curse by blood. Now, let us pick up from where we left off. Murrit, check in on Dismas. Oh yeah, he's doing just fine. As always, he's giving you the best footage you could possibly ask for. The cream to your crop like a match made inside a virtual poker den. You can hear him yelling at you through your feed, demanding you answer him right now, you good-for-nothing, bulge-brained all-motherfucker! You decide to indulge him by turning on your based oculatory operation buddy drone's boob drone auto chat assistant. This specific drone continuously states anatomical facts relating to troll chests. He doesn't seem to be very fond of it. You can tell by all of the incoherent angry growling. Murrit, check in on the blue guy. You check in on the other blue guy. Nothing out of the ordinary here, which is exactly the problem. You'd think that with the amount of time he spends collecting various corpse parts from the parasitic undead, it would have resulted in at least a couple of yuck-worthy scrapes by now. It's never anything other than some light thriller melodrama fusion with him, though. It's sad, but not the kind of sad you're in the market for. Murrit, examine Colorful Cube. You've rigged this rudimentary puzzle toy into a weapon to be used against none other than yourself whenever you venture into your underground hall traps. Moving the sides will, in turn, rotate the various walls of the expansive room at different angles, each leading to passageways that house a wide plethora of rigged devices that lie in wait for you, ready to unleash chaos on your ass. The goal is always the same, though, to reach your beloved hentai dungeon. Before you can get properly enraptured by your own toys, you remember that there is a plot you need to keep moving along. And your first order of business in that regard is to answer the 2 friends you've left on the back burner as you took part in your hilarious antics. Murrit, examine monitors. These monitors display the video feeds from the small cameras you've implanted in secret compartments through your friends' hives. They're all installed inside hollowed-out televisions, along with your desktop computer sitting at the very center of your personal observation tower. You're very committed to your aesthetic. There are 11 cameras in total, one for each of the 11 people you need to watch over, including one in your own hive. What? As if you wouldn't include yourself in your constant hounding for missteps. That would be just totally unfair to everyone involved. There are no other cameras, just 11. There are especially no cameras for an as-of-yet undisclosed 12th party. As far as you're concerned, 11 is the only number that matters. Murrit, examine desktop. Your desktop is an abhorrent hodgepodge of toolbars and obvious spam that you carefully cultivated in order to slow down anything you try to do. You also use the worst browser you could find, Galena, because you're no coward and enjoy surfing the internet on hard mode. Your Skorpe theme is tit-tastic temptations. You would think this a custom-made theme, given your now twice aforementioned eclectic tastes. Unfortunately, it is not. Not unfortunate for you, that is, but certainly unfortunate for everybody else, including myself currently. What regrettable turns of fate your planet has taken to lead us here. Regardless, you left a rousing game of Anthropomunicipality with your friend earlier. Blue Dog must be wondering where you went. Murrit, answer Blue Dog.
Windless Artificer. W.A. Began trolling. Unclasped Kahuna. UK.
Are you alive?
Nah.
Oh, alright. I guess I'll just go lay down or something then.
Hey, whoa! Can't just be sleeping peeping on this here night. You know the drill. It's game time.
Well, it's been game time for a while now. And game time has been great, but then you vanished and left me all alone. It sort of ruined my flow.
Oh my fucking god, you wise ass mini lungs. You are the only one with the real deal know-how on this front, and you think I'm still aching on about small potato fry pseudophiles? Valid render games where you flap your arms in a barren void with politically undertoned furnishings is my fave kinda games, but you know the big deal's starting to be pushed out right from under us.
You talk of big deals in games, but in my eyes these are just alternate words for things like, say, harassment, or twisted flights of romantic fancy. I guess it depends on what you want to call it in the moment. It's probably both at the same time. Woof.
Whatever. Do you see Ramshackle's Killman tonight?
No, don't know why. He should have made an appearance by now. That's why I was gonna take a snooze. Figured it'd be worth a quick check. Or if that's just not in the cards, I still get a brief visit to Dreamland before everything starts getting hectic.
Gonna bring the papers like usual, I'm guessing. Which, by the way, wanna let you know that's still a real dumb head work on your end, bastard butts. Why read about what doesn't matter in the long run? They're gonna be touching and feeling all up on Destiny and M-Form righteousness soon enough. Life and times of plastic molded battle pieces won't be the first thing they're headed towards.
Yeah, well, it was just a bit of a stunt at first. But I started it and it didn't feel right to stop. Had to keep it going. Like a civic duty. It's not even really about the content of the papers. Just provides a nice visual and makes a statement on how outrageous it's become at this point. And I haven't done that yet tonight, so I might as well.
Sound like a big excuse to steal my flavorful stylings. Don't forget to be who you are. I know you don't have much of a personality besides everyday normal guy, and I know you're getting that through your thick popper skull. But you know what? There's another thing inside of you, and the outside of you, and it represents who you are. It's called being a dog.
Am I not being that enough? With how I literally make dog noises to show how dog-esque I am?
Well, dogs can't talk, can they?
Oh, right. Woof, arf, bark bark.
They can't type neither.
Unintelligible. 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 Unintelligible.
There we fucking go. Now you're 100% original.
Unintelligible. Unintelligible.
You got it, doggo. Now hurry it up with the C's. You don't have more than a couple hours before first impact.
Unintelligible.
For sure. Nighty night. See ya.
Unclasped Kahuna. UK. Stopped trolling. Windless Artificer. WA.
Murrit, answer the other troll.
Grandiose Saturation. GS. Began trolling. Unclasped Kahuna. UK.
Hey. So, I believe you told me that everything is going to be upended, correct?
What?
All of those things you spoke of earlier? About us taking action and the starkly imminent planetary destruction?
Oh, right. Those things. Couldn't understand you between the golden shovel you got caught in your throat and the flagrant jackhole taking over your visage.
You petulant wriggler. What has become of you? You used to be such a distinguished individual.
God! We globin doing this?
Apparently we are, and now I have even more to say. First of all, you do not deserve to use any sort of marine-based wordplay, especially not in my presence. Second, just don't make fish puns at all. Ever.
Okay, I'm sorry, bro. Thought you would appreciate a player playing into your hand. Aren't you an entire world supply of royal function reclamation? Or at least one who ruminates it by the fire under a priceless painting on an aquatic turbine.
I am, and one of the only two of us left from our specific place in the hierarchy for expanses. Perhaps you should learn to shape back up and duly fulfill the role you've been granted, instead of disregarding any and all semblance of decency and dragging your heritage through the turbidites. It would do you some good, despite how little value you may hold as a member of your strata at this point. Furthermore, aquatic-related witticisms are the most novice and etiolated form of Sea Dweller idiosyncrasy. They are idiotic and worthless, and any and all who legitimately engage in the practice are only fit to be viewed in the same manner. It is my belief that the reason it became such a widely understood convention in the first place was due to nothing more than a bad joke taken out of proportion. And so, I will continue to view them as such.
Do I gotta respond to this? Didn't understand what the fuck hell you just said.
Yes, you gotta. That is how conversations work.
Okay, but consider the fact that I don't wanna.
You don't wanna? Once again, a rather poor and juvenile excuse. You never want to do anything of real importance, it seems. This is a serious issue that we need to discuss, but I'll relent for now. I wanted to come here, civilly, with a different topic to begin with. You're the one who started the scene by deciding to respond with petty insults instead of answering my inquiry properly.
Yeah, something, questions.
You never addressed the original one, but I'll take it as a positive response on the matter regardless, since I was only seeking verification. My more important piece will be regarding any potential preservation of belongings. I understand that most things will be lost, but is there any method, besides the obvious, of sparing a portion of them, to your knowledge?
If you already know, then why the fuck are you asking? Said it yourself, most of it is gonna be vaporized, and I said that was the point. The glyphics made it crystal clear. We're not gonna be here anymore after these giant-ass rocks crater our lives into the ground. No more living spaces, no more cushy ego-stroking putt courses, no more divine wines, and defo, no more of your hoity-toity pleasure sword-packing gender politic groups rabble-rousing on the streets about how they live on a higher plane cause they don't have any plush chest tanks. It's just gonna be us and whatever it is we go from here into the void of new beginnings. So you best be getting ready to readjust your life plan. Think it's high time you got to doing that.
Well then, I definitely have plenty of my own concerns on the matter, and not just about the aforementioned. Ignoring some of what you said, I was more worried about the possessions I felt that I might need in a situation like this. I'm simply trying to prepare, though I can see you're not going to be of any real assistance either way. Not entirely sure why I bothered either. I should have known better about the odds of a useful response coming from you.
Then, why are you talking to me? Seems like as usual you're making your own issues out for yourself here.
Because I presumed it would be worth my while to give this instance of researching a shot. However, it is now clear that it wasn't worth as much as I had initially hoped. It's not exactly an issue, more that it is just a slight disappointment. And with that out of the way, I really do not have much more to say to you, which seems to me like a favorable outcome for all involved. We might as well be done here. So unless you, against all odds, do have anything else of importance that you'd like me to know, I'll be on my way.
Yes, one. Your stroke game?
Weak! Delightful.
Grandiose Saturation. GS. Gave up trolling. Unclaps Kahuna. UK.
Murrit, remind yourself of what is important. You think you've had enough of the so-called natural order of things for approximately the entire rest of your life. It's time to have some fun before the real show starts. And so your part is over for the moment. As you pursue your little thrill-chasing detour, we will move on to our very last introduction in this section.